Hello, everybody. My name is Hosen. I'm team captain and coach to the team I play on, which consists of players that range between 3,300 and 3,900 MMR. I'm making this video here because I was kind of asked by a friend of the team if we were ever interested in recording any of our games or any parts of the games and uploading them so people can see what our team leagues are like. So that's kind of what this is, I guess. I have the stats screen up. Obviously, you can see we are the red team in the stats screen, even though we are going to be the blue team in the game, and our enemies are the blue team in the stats screen, even though they are going to be the red team in the game. Our draft is a draft, and their draft is a draft. It's not really that important to what I'm going to be talking about in this video, but you can go ahead and see all the people we picked, and I'll go ahead and show talents. If you want to pause, go ahead. There you go. And what I want to be talking about here today is the idea of solo island and split pushing during objectives. And this map, it's going to be the tribute. I've read a lot on forums, and I've been told a lot in games that if I'm for you people that don't know, on this map there's a place called Solo Island, and that is bottom lane for this map. You're gonna send your specialists down there. You're gonna send your Zagara. You're gonna send your best lane pusher, I guess, and their objective down there is to win that lane and not to die, and get the team an XP advantage. Now, when the first tribute pops up in Cursed Hollow, and it happens to be up at the top of the map, this can cause a real big complication. So the question is do you pull your person out of Solo Island and bring them up to fight the first curse, or fight the first tribute, or do you leave them down in Solo Island and try to fend off a 4v5? Now, this is something that comes up a lot. This isn't just on this map. There's plenty of objectives where there's a map considered to have a solo island, and this comes up over and over and over again. And a lot of times in Hero League or Quick Match, you're going to be that guy in solo island, and you're going to be that guy, and you're going to stay down there and push. And your team is going to be like, WTF, man, why didn't you come up and make it a 5v5 so we can get this tribute? And sometimes you're going to be down there and you're going to split push, and your team is not going to get totally annihilated up there, and everything's going to be okay. So what I want to show you here today is the actions that my team takes versus the actions of what the enemy takes versus what is popular, I guess, among a lot of Hero League players. I mean, that I've heard from on these forums I've read. I go on the HOTS General, I go on the Reddit forums, and they all say, hey man, get up here, help us, all this kind of stuff, and yada yada yada. You're costing us the game by staying down there. So I'm going to show you guys this. We're not quite up to it. This is about the beginning of when the curse mark spawns. So I'm going to go ahead and unpause. I don't know how this is going to all come out. This is my very first video I'm recording here. I'm using Bandicam. So hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully it's not, I don't have the greatest computer in the world, so hopefully it's not like 2 FPS for you guys. It seems okay to me here. So going back to our draft a little bit, it may look a little bit funky. Sonya Leoric, a little bit weird, and Malfurion. Now there's a reason we have Malfurion. We take more consideration into just his heals for picking Malfurion, and in this case, if we choose to what's called to do a soft engage on the enemy team at one of these marks, we can use Malfurion to poke people off the marks very easily. So we don't need to, because Moonfire comes up so quickly, and it's very cheap, and it's very easy. You can't miss it against somebody who's standing still. It's very easy to hide Malfurion here in a bush and have him poke off. So that's what's going on up here, and you'll see that happening. And down here, Zagara is completely dominating Solo Island. You saw her XP at the very beginning was 1500. It's at 1800 now, not big of a deal, but you're going to see what happens after this. And the team, we decide to leave our Zagara down here. The Vala gets beaten up. She decides to go back and heal, and she's going to come and join her team and make this a 5v4. Now, most people in a lot of the hero leagues are going to say, okay, Zagar, where are you? Come help us. We need to hard engage. We need to take this tribute, and we need to bam, bam, bam. We need this tribute, right? It's the objective. You got to always go for the objective, right? Okay. So the Sonya goes in, and she does nice poke damage. We know that the fall stat is now at half health. We know that the fall stat is going to be very, it's very risk-takey for him to fight now in this engagement because of his health. So now it's not necessarily a 5v5 or a 5v4 because of the fall stat's health. He's going to get healed. He can get healed. He'll come back up in life. So, you know, it's starting to widen the 4v5 perspective. You know, if one person on the enemy team is really low, and you can kill them in one hit and just instantly make it a 4v4, then you can count that person out unless they're going to pull some crazy stuff against you with their very low health. Anyways, we know this is going to happen. We have no plans to do a hard engage, which is we go in and we are going to fight until we die. We don't have any plans to do that. We want to stall this as much as we can so that our solo island person down here, Zagara, can get as much XP as possible. And the idea behind what's going to happen here is, we don't want to give up any kills. We don't necessarily need to go for kills. We just want to stall this out as much as we can. So the damage taken on our part, we need to minimize it. And even at this point, too, we don't know where the Vala is at. I can switch over to our view here real quick, and I'll zoom out again. Or maybe I can't. Yeah, I can. Okay, cool. So we don't know where the Vala is at. We assume that because the Vala is not in Solo Island, that she is up here. Even though we can't see her, she could be, you know, in this fog. Maybe she got around us, which would be bad positioning. Maybe she's down here. Like, we don't know where she's at, but we assume that she's nearby. If I switch back to everybody, you can see that she is back here. We could have hard engaged on this scenario, and we, you know, could have won it. Maybe. We don't know. But we assume the Vala is around because she is missing here, and we're playing safe. And again, our overall objective here isn't to just completely annihilate and take this tribute. We want to stall. And anyways, the false stat does do some good damage. So even though his health was pretty threatened, he did turn it around. He does have his healer here. He is feeling confident. So that's good on him. However, again, we don't really want this tribute at this point. The idea, again, is to stall as much as we can. So and even Zagara calls for the stall. So we don't want to, you know, do any hard engages. I don't know if you guys can see my Skype. Go away. We don't want to do any hard engages. We're just looking to poke them off. So we place Malfeiron in the bush here, and anytime one of these teammates or enemies are going to go to try to get a tribute, you're going to see Malfeiron shoot a Moonfire, or you're going to see, you know, somebody go in and do something. That was another Moonfire. We do a little soft engage here. Again, we're not looking for big kills because look at the Vala sneaking around. Just like I said before, we don't know where she was at, and she comes in and tries to do things like this. And again, this is all a 4v5. Our KT takes a lot of damage from that engagement. However, the Zerchel they're kind of going a little bit back and forth because remember the Vala was up there. She attacked, but then she ran away. But the Zerchel, I guess, didn't get the memo. So he goes in, he does a hard engage. He says, hey, I'm here to fight until I die. He takes too much damage, tries to get away, and he dies. Doesn't quite work out. Same with this Johanna decides to kind of go in for a hard engage. Her health gets really, really low, and she runs out. Again, she didn't fight till she died, but the concept's still kind of the same. The Vala's completely out of position because she's right next to our tank. Leoric versus Vala can be pretty nasty. I believe that her vault is just up there. I missed the Drain Hope on it, which kind of sucks as well. But again, we have no desire to take this. If we look back at the XP charts, 3,300 now XP gathered, full level gap. Now the enemy team needs to make a decision here. Do they really want this tribute that is going to do immediately in the immediate do nothing for them, or do they need to go back and soak these lanes and counter out the soak that Zagara does? So we're going to see what the enemy team does here. And you can see again, no, we don't want this tribute. We want to bait them in as much as we can because we have a solo islander who's doing very good. But as you can see, the enemy team reacts. They say, look, we don't need this tribute. We can't win this fight even though it was a 5v4, and if we continue to hang out here, we're going to fall farther and further behind because of the solo island. So we can speed up here a little bit. We tell them that we can't stall anymore. The enemy team has given up completely on this tribute because of the XP soak coming out from Zagara and our ability to basically do soft engages and not overcommit to the situation. No deaths on our team, 1 death on the enemy team, 2 deaths on the enemy team because of in a 4v5. So I just wanted you guys to see this. I wanted you to get an idea of what can happen when you leave your solo laner down there and you bring 4 people to an objective fight against 5 people who come to an objective fight. I see a lot of people on the forums, again saying like, you can't win a 4v5. You can't do anything 4v5. They got one more person than you lose. And that's not necessarily the case. It really depends on how you're going to play the engagement and how the enemy team is going to play the engagement. Of course, there's some mistakes on the enemy team. Some people wanted to hard engage while others just wanted to do a soft engage. But there's also mistakes on our team as well. There was one moment when our KT got caught out very hard and took a lot of damage. They could have capitalized on that, pushed in, mistakes are made all around. But the idea and the concept still stands. That if you play in Hero League, and you have somebody that wants to do solo island down there, and they communicate, so this is the big thing, we got to communicate with each other. They're saying, hey, we're going to stay down here, I'm going to stay down here in solo island, I'm going to select this XP, you guys do the best you can on that tribute. If you can't take it, don't take it, because the first tribute doesn't do anything for you, right? I mean, it gives you 1 more towards the 3, but in the immediate, it doesn't do anything for you. It gives you a health globe, I guess. But, are you going to win the game with 1 health globe? No. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about that topic. I think it's a very important strategy. I think it's something I'd like to see a lot more in Hero League. Me personally, when I was ranking through Hero League from 50 to about 10, I was playing almost always Sylvanas. And in situations like this, I would hang down in solo island and I would push. And a lot of teams can't deal with the split push sometimes. A lot of people get into the mindset of, oh crap, an objective is up. Let's all go to it. Let's all get this objective, even if the objective is not that important. I mean, it's not the tribute that's going to make the curse. It's the very first one. As long as you don't give up a crazy amount of deaths or get, it doesn't become that big of an issue. And again, this kind of talks about risk versus reward and goes to all of that. Even had we gotten some deaths on our side, the 2 kills really, really make this look a lot better than what it was planned to be. But even if we got a death on our side, we wouldn't have been behind in XP. And in this game, the very first stage of this game is getting to level 10. You got to get your team to 10. You got to get those ultimates online. When you get to level 10, you got to abuse the fact that you're level 10. Anyways, I've taken up way too much time that I wanted to talk about this very simple strategy, this very simple, idea of the 4v5, the solo laner, this, soaking while everyone's going. And I just wanted you guys to kind of see the impact it can have on a game. If you guys were wondering, we use this advantage very well. We continue to push forward. We continue to expand our lead on our XP gain, and we ended up winning against the enemy team. Anyways, again, I am Hosen, and I hope you guys all have a good day. Take it easy.